Hello, Starlit Souls. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Mystery School. Class is now in session. As you may or may not consciously know, when you sleep, you come here to the Mystery Schools, where you are taught many lessons while your unconscious mind sleeps, and you bring this knowledge back with you when you wake up, only you are not aware of the knowledge when you awaken. Instead, it is downloaded into your being portion by portion. It is a lot of information to download. So it must be done in divine timing as your mind expands and opens up. Otherwise, it would be way too much information and your mind would just literally explode. So, we have 4 lessons to go over tonight. I will begin by giving you a brief overview of each lesson for tonight. Now, the very first thing to remember is that everything is energy, and I mean everything. Whether this book or this crystal wand or the city that you live in, the tree that is on your front yard, you get the idea. Every single thing is made up of very fast vibrating molecules of energy. These molecules vibrate so fast that they appear to us in the 3D as solid matter. Now, since everything is energy, this must mean then that everything is able to communicate telepathically. For instance, let's say you wake up one morning and you're so excited to cook yourself the most delightful brunch. It's Sunday and it's so sunny and the birds are chirping outside your window. You are contemplating for a moment what to make for brunch. A thought pops into your head of eggs Benedict. Now, the thought that energetically came into your head, essentially the energetic blueprint of the Eggs Benedict telepathically called out to you, and you picked up on it energetically through your mind in the form of a thought. Once you become aware of the energy within your own self, you have the power and ability to tap in and connect to the energy of others. This is a very special ability. This is an ability that must be earned, and we do not take energetic work lightly. This is why when you are waking up and living your life in your 3D world, there is a veil of forgetfulness that comes over you. This veil is in place for your own protection. If you knew of all of the entities that were trying to communicate and connect with you, you would be very overwhelmed and likely a little scared. So, we introduce you to these concepts bit by bit in your dream time so that when you wake up, you can integrate them into your waking life so that they won't seem as overwhelming. Okay? Great. Now, class, on to the next lesson. We live in a safe universe. Any entity that you encounter that brings up feelings of fear or any discordant feelings that you don't want to welcome into your being, you have the ability to tell this entity or energy to go away. You don't have to be mean about it. You can do so very lovingly, but it must come from the core belief that you believe that you live in a safe universe. If you do not believe that you live in a safe universe, then you will consistently draw to you experiences that prove that you do not live in a safe universe, thus reaffirming that belief. This is why it is so important for you to begin to understand and affirm to yourself, starting now in your dream time, that you live in a safe universe. You are safe, loved, and protected, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, and no matter what you don't do. Okay? So never forget that. The third lesson is that your imagination is a manifestational tool. Now, some forces on this planet would have you believe that your imagination is nothing more than just that, a figment of your imagination. On the contrary, your imagination is linked to your intuition. Your imagination is the inner screen with which you view the movie and the potentials of your life. If you are someone who uses your imagination to perceive negative, dark, hurtful experiences for yourself and or others, you are using your imagination to cultivate darkness. And that's allowed. Everything's allowed. Our goddess is very accepting and loving. Now, even though it's allowed, it is not often preferred by most souls to create in that manner, in that unconscious way. Most souls are here to consciously learn how to use the tools that they have been given, of course, their thoughts and emotions, so that they can create the life of their dreams while they are here on earth. If you are someone who has always had a very vivid imagination and you fill your mind with beautiful dreams and hopes and wishes and joy and happiness and laughter, you will not attract anything else to you but those things. Your imagination is an active tool that you can use to call in your highest timeline. And by timeline, of course, I just mean alternate reality, another dimension. You have the potential. Every single thought that you think, once you think it, it goes out to create itself. And even though it may not create itself in your now, it will create itself in something or someone's now. So being accountable for our thoughts is a concept that not many of us are aware of at this moment in time, but we will be very soon. Once you accept responsibility for the content inside your own mind, you will begin to understand how to change the narrative, how to weed out the environment of your inner mind, so that new seeds of love and joy and positivity may be planted for your own benefit and for the benefit of all those around you, including Mother Earth and all of your galactic family. The fourth lesson: life is a stage, and every scene is set up just for you. Now, can you imagine for a moment, using your imagination, that you are an actor. You were hired by a director to come here and play a role. You had certain challenges to accept for this role, with which you graciously accepted. Not only were you given the role of actor, you were given the role of writer, creative director, producer, background actors. You get the idea. Every scene in your movie revolves around you. If there's something that's showing up in the movie of your life that you don't like, you have the power to ask yourself, your higher self, why is this showing up in my movie? And in that silence, when you ask yourself those questions, you will receive an answer. This is called active listening, from your ego to your higher self or your higher mind. Now, our ego loves to chime in, okay? The key is to balance the ego by bringing it down. Think of the ego as like an excited child, and it's really excited to do all the things, but it has to check in with that parent, that conscious higher self, that conscious authority, to know right from wrong, to know which step to take. When you live your life in this way, acting as if every single experience is a lesson, and your soul chose that experience to go through, to learn, life becomes a game, a very fun game. And it actually makes you very excited to wake up each day, to complete the lessons and participate in them actively. What we like to think of Earth as is an interactive learning program that our souls incarnate into to learn certain things so that we can understand on all levels of our being the consequences of our own actions and thoughts. And this is why polarity is necessary, because how can you know good if you do not first know the opposite of good? Now, again, nothing is good and nothing is bad. But in your 3D perception, you do use these labels. So as you wake up to your 5D connection, you will start to use these labels less and less. There will be less good and bad labeling, and there will be more accepting of the experience, observing and not judging, just flowing and letting the experience be, and being aware of yourself in that moment, that you are observing the experience that is around you, or the scene that is around you. So everything in your life is a prop, okay? Everything, your house is your set for the day. Dog is your co-star. Your family are your co-stars. Now, when you think of life in this way, it changes. It becomes so exciting to live in this environment, this game of life. It's like a video game. It's another way of looking at it. There are many ways to look at it, of course. There's never just one way for anything. There are many ways to do everything. But thank you so much for your attendance at the Mystery School tonight. Before you go, I just want to leave you with one last parting thought, and that is, you are the only one here. Good night, my love. See you at the next lesson.